Oh, YouTube, Patreon, subscribers, everybody, hello. I'm getting over a little cold, so I apologize for my nasally voice. We're making another nose shed video. And yes, guys, in this video we will be pulling out a nose shed. Or as people call it, a nose trumpet. And it's not going to be that late in the video, so don't worry if you're sticking around just for that. You'll be able to get it quickly. But if you watch my channel, I do like to educate, teach, help make better, just kind of explain what it is, why it's happening. There's misconceptions, there's comments I get on every video where I remove the nose shed as to why they have it and an easy way to prevent it. Guys, there may not be a way to prevent this depending on your bearded dragon, and we'll get into that. But there are definitely things you can do to help when your bearded dragon is shedding. So yes, bearded dragons, hi Clementine, can I pop you up here? They have two nostrils, right? There's one on one side, there's one on the other side of her face, just like that. Pretty simple. They're for breathing only, not for smelling, breathing only. They go down to a tube, they go into her windpipe, etc. Pretty simple setup. But what happens? So, like most lizards, reptiles, bearded dragons shed. That's right, they shed their body. Now, they don't shed any skin on their eyeball like snakes do because they have eyelids that protect their eyeball. But they do shed some inner parts of their body. Male bearded dragons will shed the skin on their hemipenes, which a lot of the times get stuck and are confused for sperm plugs. Sperm plugs and hemipenal sheds are two separate things that can happen to male dragons. Bearded dragons also shed, like most lizards, the skin on their eardrum. Most lizards have an exposed eardrum that we can just see right there. Okay, fine. But lizards shed, and bearded dragons tend to shed more, the inside skin of their nose to a point, until it gets to the valve, the little flappy valve that's down there. That way they can go underwater and close that valve and not drown themselves. Now, what is the problem here? Well, the problem is sometimes this nose trumpet, as we call it, gets stuck in the bearded dragon's nose. A bearded dragon, basically to clear out this nose shed, takes a deep breath in through their mouth, and just like we do when we blow our nose, they try to fire it out of their nose. Now, two things can happen. One is, unlike us, they can't plug their other nose, so if they do blast the nose shed out of the other nostril and not the other one can get stuck. It also can get stuck on the end, where it's mostly out but not fully detached. That's why it happens. So we can help remove the nose trumpet to help them breathe better. People will say they can remove it themselves if they have proper humidity. Yeah, okay. Here's my room humidity, 41%. You can't eat this. This is the temperature for the room. And it records the high and the lows of humidity. So they say, oh, between 30 to 40 to 45. So let's say 30 to 45% humidity. You'll never have nose sheds. Well, here's the room humidity, 43% right now. It's going to probably be a little bit lower in the dragon's tank. Here's Clementine's, right in the safety zone. Even in the low, during the hottest, driest part of the day, it's in what I get recommended as the perfect humidity level not to have nose shed. That's wrong. Why? Well, because it can just get stuck. It can even be detached from the inside skin, but get stuck on the way out of the nostril. And that's what happens most of the time. So let's remember, though, when you're removing this nose trumpet, you really want to make sure it's detached, because it does, the very inside part of it, the deepest part, does attach to that valve. What are you looking at me like that for? And you have a couple things can happen here if you remove it early, like when you remove stuck shed. You can damage the skin of the valve itself. Not good. You can tear it off, but tear off so some of the shed stays stuck to the valve. That can cause a big problem because that's very hard to remove. It's in there. You basically are hoping that it eventually becomes unstuck and the bearded dragon sniffs it out, or it gets removed with the next shed, but that can cause huge breathing issues. So, you wait for it to fully be removed. A lot of the times it'll just be caught right on the tip and you know it's completely safe. But why is it stuck? Does it have anything to do with humidity, improper diet, you know, things like that? The answer is no. The answer is it's stuck because of the dragon. Because, like humans, dragons have different, I want to say noses, but really different nostril layouts. All right? Come here, Clementine, and we're going to look at some of that. And you can take this time to look at your bearded dragon and let me know what type of nostril they have. But Clementine, her nostril's very interesting. Come here. Come on, let go of the tank. Let go of my hand. Thank you. I need you to come in. Look at how big that nostril is. Look at how deep it goes. It goes right in. And her nostril, if you look, goes forward. That's right. Her nostril, the tube, the opening starts here, and she's just done. Come here, I need you for this video. The opening starts here, and then it goes forward towards the tip of the nose, and then back around. Very unique, but very big, wide opening on that nostril, and very easy to get shed out of there. Johnny Cage, king of the nose shed himself. So why does she have that very big, wide open nostril that we could see into, that doesn't have any shed, and like she never gets stuck shed? Don't know. Come here, Mr. Cage. So Johnny Cage almost always gets no shed. And let's remember, he's the dragon that loves to swim, has a water bowl, swims in it, drinks in it, sleeps in it. I mean, he's all over that bath, right? And yet he still has nose shed. So let's look at his nose. This is the type of nose I've seen often get nose shed. Look at how it's a longer opening, more oval, but it goes in almost immediately to skin. The back of his nose is right there. The opening is very thin, very thin. How do you get a lot of air through that? Number one, you can't. But how does that shed, especially when it's very long, how does that shed get out of that tight hole easily? Well, spoiler alert, it can't. Come here, come here. I need to turn you around, for goodness sakes. Let me turn you around. Very good. So, here we go. We look at this nostril. Focus. Shed. See how it's built up? Look at how all of the nose shed, it's detached from the valve. It's literally in the tip of the nostril because the opening is too tight to allow that shed to come through. So we're going to remove this nose shed. I know sometimes people say he wants to eat these because they're like, you feed him with these, because these are small little tweezers. I don't feed any of my bearded dragons with these small tweezers. I actually feed them with tongs, you know, normal 12-inch tongs. So he just looks at this. So we're going to come by and we're going to pick this nose shed. Nice and simple. It's fully loose, so we don't have to worry about it. Grab it, pull it out. Not attached to anything. Let him go back in. And look at this. And you can see the nose trumpet is nice and pushed in because it just made it all to the end. He blew it out. It detached. He blew it and it got lodged in the tip of the nostril. Also, guys, today's comment is nose shed. That's right. The secret comment is nose shed. So go ahead, leave that down in the comments, nose shed. And then write whatever else you want as a separate comment. But guys, there are other dragons, like let's look at Archie here, who have what you would assume is a tight nostril. It's more of an oval nostril. It's not round, but there's a lot of room in that nostril. Look at that. She never really gets stuck nose trumpets. Every once in a while, I think they all do. And if you give them time, they probably would blow them all out. But some of their openings are just so tight that they're not going to have that. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this video. As always, thank you so much to What? Thank you so much to everyone who donates on Patreon. It helps me so much. You guys really help me educate and rescue these guys, get them adopted out, and I appreciate it. Everyone who subscribes, if you leave a like on a video, it's a big deal. And if you leave any comment, although today's secret comment was nose shed, it does help promote these videos so people can get educated and get the help they need. So yes, long story short, TLDR. If they're getting nose trumpets, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means that it's got stuck making all the twists and turns. Take care, everybody.